It's Memorial Day, right? Hello, 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 and welcome to another edition of Beyond the Noise. I also want to say Happy Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day. We want to make sure that we remember all of the fallen soldiers who died for the freedoms that we have today. Today is a very, very special day for me. But before I get into the guests and before we talk about all these other good things, I want to say we have again the round-faced Mexican girl back in the house, the one, the only, Miss Graciela Dagnino. What's going on, young lady?
Nothing. It's working.
You know what? I get a lot of feedback from the show, and one of the things that I have heard repeatedly was, if the round-faced Mexican girl,
I'm sure they don't talk about me like that.
If she talks a little louder, it sounds like she has some really good stuff to say. So let's make sure that the people can hear the really good stuff that you have to say. I'm gonna tell a quick story, and then we're gonna get right into it. This story is about judgment. It's not about religion, although it's gonna have a religious acumen because this is something that actually happened. But I'm gonna talk about prejudice, prejudging, judgment, and then I'm gonna talk about, I guess, post-judgment. So I'm in Target whistling some of the greatest Jodeci songs from the 90s, just minding my own business. And a gentleman standing in Target pulls his cart next to me and says, "Hey, brother, let me ask you something." I said, "Okay, here we go with the, hey, brother, let me ask you something." So he said, "Are you a Christian?" I said, "Listen, with all due respect, I don't know if you really want to have this conversation with me today." He said, "Well, God says that we need to have conversation again with one another and break bread." I said, "Well, okay, I understand that. Now, I done read the Bible, 6, 7 times over, and I don't ever remember seeing anything in there where God said that." However, we go back and forth, and he keeps telling me all of my wrongdoings. And he's not necessarily saying I'm doing it, but he is saying God said he will punish the backstabbers and the whoremongers and all the thieves. And I was like, "Man, you haven't even asked me my name yet." So we talking, and he's telling me what the Bible says and asking me if I believe it and all the versions. And I haven't really said much. I just keep asking him questions. So I said, "Well, he said, are you believing God?" I said, "Yeah, I am. I really am. But before I go in, I want to ask you something." I said, "My father is a Baptist preacher." And he said, he'll perish for that. Now, the 16-year-old Greg was like, "You know what? I should two-piece you right at the talk about my daddy." But then I had to remember I was 41, and if I was going to call daddy, and he'd be like, "Hey, man, what you doing in jail?" "Man, I got in a fighting Target about what? Oh, this dude was talking about you." What do you think my daddy going to say about that? It's kind of grown. Now, if I was 15, he might be excited about that. So I was offended, and I was upset. However, I said, "Listen, man, let me ask you a question." I said, "Why do you believe what you believe?" And he put his head down, took this, and we stood there for about 5 or 6 seconds, and I said, "Hey, man, take your time, I'll wait. I got time today, baby. You stop me. I got all the time you need." He breathed again. He said, "What God says," and I said, whoa. Don't tell me what God said. I mean, I know you believe what God says, as do I, but why do you believe what you believe? His answer was, why do I believe what I believe? I'm going to tell you. He never told me. I never found out why he believes what it is he believes. So I said, "Listen, let me help you out. I'll tell you exactly why I believe what I believe." So I gave him an exact answer of why I believe what I believe. Okay? And he never answered my question. Now, to all my audience out there, I need you to understand that if you want people to listen, even if you judge them, at least know why you believe the things you believe. So all of us who have these thoughts and beliefs based on memes or what other people say, ask yourself why. Why it makes sense to you. And I think it'll allow us to treat other people like human beings, because why is a hard question to answer. And with that being said, today's episode is brought to you by Speed School. Speed School is level 1. Speed School level 1 is a digital speed program that is designed to teach you all of the fundamental mechanics as well as turnover and increase your efficiency, your development, your mechanical movement, your speed, and everything else. So you will be able, if you ask today in the comments, tell me about Speed School, we will send you a link for 60% off of one of the most amazing programs I've ever seen written. I say that because I didn't write it. The round-faced Mexican girl sitting right next to me is the one that wrote it, and it is amazing. Say something about it real quick.
What is there to say about it?
It is amazing. We'll come back to her because she has that big old smile on her face. No, it really is great. We have voiceovers, we have freeze frames, we have information, we have cues, we have entire workouts, 16 hours of work that you can repeat to get better. And if you do those mechanical movements and make yourself efficient, all you have to do is practice on being more powerful so you can increase speed. Today I have with me one of the most respectful, most mature young men I've ever met. He is from this area. He is a Bowie Bad A volunteer. He was on one of the teams that, what you guys, 10-1, 11-1? You guys dominated the regular season, second team all district. He's had a chance to play football at the Division I level against some of the big dogs. He is now extremely successful, and I need every athlete on the planet who thinks they want to go and play some football or some baseball or soccer or whatever level, understand that there is a process that many of us will have to endure more than we go through. And he came out shining like a diamond, but partially because he has his better half with him. He definitely outkicked his coverage on this one, Miss Drusilla Nicole Ramirez, soon to be Peace. I have with me Brother Greg Peace Jr.
How you doing, Coach?
Man, you know what? I have been talking about you all week as if you were a rock star. People be like, oh, that's so great, that's awesome. And then they go, oh, it's Greg. Is he? So they start looking you up, but I'm telling you, man, I think the world of you, and I need these coaches, these athletes, these aspiring athletes, boys, girls, and everybody else in between to hear how you started, what happened in the middle, and where you are now today. Because I need them to pull some real information. You know, we're not going to say words like, man, I just worked hard.
Yeah.
You know, man, I just sat down and I thought, no. I need you to give them the game, okay? So, coming out of Bowie, let's talk about your whole recruiting situation. Okay? Let's look at it through your eyes, and then you and I will go back and forth conversation style.
Okay.
So, you're going into your senior year, you see your boys, they got offers at a few different places. Some of them are ready and willing to go. You have been touted as one of the most skilled defensive backs in 6A football. Okay? Talk to them about your recruiting journey.
Yeah, so my recruiting journey was not what I wanted it to be. You know, a lot of it was because of my height, is what I was told.
What did they measure at?
5'8".
5'8", okay.
Yeah.
5'8" corner.
Yeah, 5'8" corner. And that was the biggest thing that I heard. I mean, I went to camps. I went to, SFA camp. I had to go out there and show them what I could do, and they did extend an offer. Right after that, I went to Sam Houston State. They did extend an offer. And then after that, I had, a lot of D2s, but, being young and seeing all you boys going, pretty big,
right.
D2, what is that? We're not doing that. So
what did you think about it? Like at that age, when you said we're not doing that, why? It just you were better than that. You felt like the competition wasn't there. Like what is that? People were putting that in your ear. A combination of all talk. Like what is that? D2 for all of y'all is literally a full level below Division I. So you got Division I FCS, Division I FBS, and you have Division II, and then you go into D3, NAIA, and the rest of it.
Yeah. Okay. It might sound real childish now.
You were a child.
Yeah, exactly. So the reason I didn't want to go D2 was just because it just didn't sound cool. Like, it didn't sound cool. The teams, the colleges that were playing D2, they not on NCAA. Like, as a kid, you playing NCAA, you making yourself, and you want to be at one of the big schools.
Right.
Especially when you see your friends that you work out with every day, and you grind, and you guys are at each other's house every day, and you seeing them go big, and you're up to their standards as far as skill wise goes. You want to do the same thing as they're doing. So
right. But you knew you could play.
definitely.
What level did you, in your mind, know you could play at?
FBS.
FBS. So
Yeah.
you knew you was FBS bound. But according to coaches, you fit the FCS mold,
Mm-hmm.
height, size, physicality,
Yeah.
and then they got to find out how fast you run.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to them about how that process, because I know your first time,
Mm-hmm.
and you won't have to be embarrassed to say it now, and that fast time
Yeah.
that got you that D1 situation.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, the biggest thing as far as what's the actual question, just
Look, like, how much did that speed play a role in your recruitment?
Oh yeah, it played a big role, especially coming out of Arlington Bowie, and like I said, we had a good name, but at the end of the day, being 5'8", that's they want to know how fast you are. Period.
Right.
Point blank. And my first time wasn't what it needed to be for my height, and it was it was a good 4'6".
Yeah, it was.
It was a good 4'6".
Yeah.
And I remember we was in Trinity.
Yep.
And we kept trying to run it. We ran it at least 6-7 times,
Yep.
and it kept saying 4'6".
Yep.
And that's just what it was at that point. And then I mean, fast forward into when I actually went JUCO, because I ended up
You're starting out at JUCO because you didn't want.
I didn't want to take the small offers.
Right.
So I betted on myself at a young age and said, we just gonna take this JUCO offer, full ride. As me and the quarterback were the only two guys that had full rides at a JUCO,
Mhm.
so it's very unheard of. But went there, ended up running a 4.51.
Yes,
4.51. Yeah, and from there, that's when I got the opportunity to go to the U of H's and the Texas States and things of that nature.
Yeah, because once they saw the numbers, they was like, "This
Okay.
is what I've been looking." When this kid was in high school,
Yeah.
this is the number that I was looking for. We could have gotten in. But you said you didn't want the small offers. Why not SFA? Because SFA and Sam did a lot of winning. They played the
They were
title.
playing, yeah.
As a matter of fact, they were good in those seasons.
They were playing. They were in the playoffs
Right.
when they gave me the offer.
So what was it?
Like I said, it was just really me being a kid and saying, you know what, man, that's not my dream. Those are not my dream schools. Just they're D1. But at the same time, these are not the FBS schools that are flying everywhere.
Mhm.
With these type of schools, you have to ride buses to go to your games for most parts, and these are the schools that big schools are paying you to come get beat up on. You know what I mean? So
I
it
know
was
what you mean.
it was just like I just couldn't see myself being there. And now that I'm kind of looking back,
Well, yeah, looking back at it, because now you give a kid a chance to look forward.
for sure.
What would you say? And not like be honest about your
Yeah.
style. What would you say to them?
Go where they want you. Period. No
Wow.
matter where it is, if it's a D2, an NAIA, go where you're wanted. Because those are the guys that, when things do start getting fishy, with actually being there on campus and things of that nature, they're gonna make sure you're fine because they want you.
Because they're the ones that want to dance with you.
Exactly.
Okay, so you're talking about things getting fishy.
Yeah.
You're at the JUCO. I know what they were telling you when you first got on the yard. You was the next Darrell Reeves. I know the things that was happening. And then one practice, from my understanding, all of a sudden, talk to them about. Now you can save names, but talk to them about your situation and be fair in your.
Yeah, no, I got you. So one practice, that whole week I was really sick.
Sick.
Yeah, had the flu.
Yep.
The trainer told me not to practice. Had a temperature at like 104, something crazy like that. I was really sick, but me being me, I said no. I need to go practice. Period. Like I don't really care how I feel. At the end of the day, I need to practice.
Why did you feel like you needed to practice?
I'm at JUCO. This is not a permanent thing. This is temporary.
But what's that mean? Because in JUCO you got 3 levels of players. You got the full ride players, which is 1 to 3 people.
Exactly.
You got the dogs, the cats fighting for books, the cats fighting for what I'm talking about, room and board, like they just want to get their meal. And then you got them hometown good enough players to be on the team, but we ain't giving you no money because you can't play nowhere else.
Exactly.
Am I right or
No,
wrong?
you hit around the head.
So, and you don't fit in none of that mold except the frontier.
Exactly.
What happened?
So that day of practice, I'll be honest, I wasn't performing the way I needed to. And obviously it was because I was sick or whatever. No excuses, but at the end of the day, that's what the outcome of it was. And me and the head coach, which was the one that gave me the full ride offer, we had some words and you know we had some words that day.
Yeah.
And it was just him being he was being outraged, he was frustrated. Like I said, our team wasn't doing the best, so I get it, you know, looking back at it now. And he just wanted more out of me, with not really knowing what was going on with me.
Mm-hmm.
And things, you know, got a little heated at practice. I think I got a fade ball caught on me or something like that, and he just started popping off at the mouth. And he was one of those coaches that he did that a lot. And you know, to other kids, he didn't really do it to me, but he did it a lot to other kids, just kind of demeaning kids. You know, it's a thin line between coaching hard and just being, you know, outraged.
Like proving that you're the authority.
Exactly. And he was walking that line really harshly. So with me, you can't talk to me like that. I mean, especially with what I was going through. Like I said, I came out to practice for you and for our team and for us to try to get better. And for you to scream at the top of your lungs, you know, a lot of bad things, a lot of cuss words and things of that nature. It just rubbed me the wrong way. And anybody that knows me knows I'm never gonna disrespect, authority figure. But I just had it that day, and I lost it. And I snapped, and we both exchanged some words. We got in each other's faces. A lot of coaches pulled us back.
Testosterone,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah, and coaches kind of got in the way of it, and he told me to leave.
Mm-hmm.
He said, okay. So walked back in the locker room. Called my dad because it was really like, it felt like a dream. Like it didn't feel. I was like, what just happened? You know what I mean? Like what just happened? Because I just really blacked out. Like it was just, I was done.
Yeah.
Called my dad. We kind of talked about it, and then after that, you know, the coach actually called me back in the office about two hours later, and you know, basically he didn't think he did anything wrong. I was doing disrespecting him in front of his team and things of that nature, and he was like, you know, I don't even know if I want you to be here anymore. And he was like, we were actually going into spring. This was going into spring, actually, I believe. And he told me I had probably 10 or 12 colleges that were D1, FBS coming out to watch me that spring. Because I was a graduate. I mean, I was a qualifier.
You was qualified.
I was leaving.
Going after semester.
Yeah, I was leaving after the spring.
Yep.
So
you ran the time you needed to when you were qualified. It was you had set it up for exactly how you wanted.
Yeah. So I was leaving. I was only supposed to be there 8 months, and that's what I was going to do. So he told me, you know, I don't even think I want you to be out there for the spring practices. And he said, you know what, we'll let you be out there for the spring practices, but you're going to run with the threes.
That means you might
You're not running.
reps
that means
every once in a while. 2 reps.
That means you're not playing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what that means. So he's like, yeah, you're gonna run the threes. You're gonna have to, you know, get back in my good graces to move up to where you were, which was a starter. And he was like, you know, you can take it or leave it. That's what we're doing. And I'm just thinking I had to, you know, kind of make a grown man decision for myself and understand what was happening in that point. And I told him, I said, well, I think I'm gone. Like that's not gonna be it. Because like I said, at the end of the day, I admitted, I came to him and I said, you know what, sir, I'm sorry for what I did, for my part of it. You know, at the end of the day, no matter what you did, but I'm not taking that. Like I'm not taking that. I'm taking
punishment don't fit the crime.
It
We
doesn't.
both grown men. We out here in the heat of exchange. I've done that with coaches. We pat each other on the shoulder or the back, and we go about our business.
Because the biggest thing is now you're jeopardizing my future now. You know what I mean? This is bigger than what you're trying to make it. Like you're jeopardizing my future. At the end of the day, if you wanted me to, you know, sit out a couple practices or do some more runs or whatever a coach is supposed to do to, you know, to fit the crime. Exactly. We could have did that, and I would have been there, and I would have, you know, took my punishment as a man, and it would have been moved on. But when you try to mess up my future, that's when I have a problem. And I told him, I said, look, sir, I didn't say sir, but I said some other words. Said at this point, I won't be back, and I'm done with this. His other 2 coaches that loved me, they came and talked to me in my dorm and was like, man, we know he was wrong, things of that nature. They looked at him like he made the stupidest mistake of his life. Like this kid's really leaving, because a lot of those other kids needed him. I didn't. I had a name. I was the preseason freshman incoming, DB in the nation for junior college. So I had a name.
I got the magazine.
Exactly. Yeah. So people knew me, and I just wasn't gonna take it, and I walked out.
So you moved on. You moved right up towards U of H.
Yes, sir.
You were out there with a good friend of mine's DB coach. He fell in love with you the moment y'all got on the yard.
Yeah.
What happened?
2 weeks later, Tom Herman gets a call from Texas.
Gotta go.
Got to roll. He's taking the best coaches he has with him, and that was my coach, and that was it. It was like, I mean, that's the only reason I really went there.
But he wanted you.
Yeah, definitely.
He called you.
Yeah.
So what was the shift? Like, what happened when they shifted out and the new group came in? They brought their guys in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So and that's what I mean. I want you to not you just leaving because you didn't just up and leave.
Yeah.
It was a shift in attitude and demeanor and even the things that were being asked.
Yeah.
None of this is bad. This is just what happened.
Yeah.
How did you saw it coming? What did you see?
Just like you said, I mean, I saw some new guys come in, and I saw a lot of old guys, kind of getting pushed out, so to
How
speak.
so?
Just with
Not throwing people on the bus.
Yeah,
just like just
I got you. No, just kind of reps being taken away, and these new guys, they need to kind of learn the scheme and just stuff like that was starting to happen because we were doing 707. It was the summer, but
Right.
we're getting ready. We're doing
Getting
707.
everybody in,
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of started happening, and then as far as like in the weight room, things started kind of changing as far as lift groups and just a lot of little things that kind of go on was kind of starting to change. And in my eyes, I felt I kind of know I knew what was going on.
You've seen it.
Yeah. So I knew what was going on, and luckily I was still in conversation with Texas State, and that's why I decided to make that move.
So when you were there, did you what did Jason like about you? Like what were the attributes you had that Coach Washington liked you when you was in Houston? What were the things that he?
My footwork, my quickness, attention to detail. Because being small, you gotta have the detail and your skill level up to par. And that's what he really liked about me. He liked I actually played bigger than what I was.
What's that mean?
I mean, if it was a
Got
6'2",
big boys on the ground.
yeah, if it was a 6'2" receiver over me, obviously they think they're going to fade on me the whole time because I'm 5'8" or whatever you want to call me. But I'm jamming. I'm not playing 8 yards back. I'm a jamming. So you really got to get past me, and it didn't happen too often.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So he likes physicality.
Exactly.
Okay. You at U of H, it's taking a turn. They're bringing a bunch of guys in. You land in Texas State. Now you are at 20 years old, maybe at this time, 19.
Was I 19? I think I was 19.
19 years old. You're in your third school. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, so I mean, got to Texas State. Remember I talked about going somewhere where they actually want you. I felt that was a school that actually wanted me. I knew the choices that I did have. Went there. Things, I mean, they didn't go as planned.
Did you have to sit a year?
I did.
Okay, now.
But it wasn't sitting because I left U of H. I just got redshirt.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. So because you left, you were coming in before the scholarship money opened up, correct?
Yeah.
So you were there in the summer before any scholarship money had opened up.
So I didn't sign anything.
So you hadn't signed anything yet,
Yeah.
but you were already accepted into the school, but you weren't a student because school hadn't started.
Exactly.
All of that could be done. Like none of that is illegal, especially back.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, there was no loss there. You saw the move, and you just made a quality decision because you knew that Texas State wanted you.
Exactly.
What did they do to show you that they wanted you? And I need people to. And are there any questions out there, Grayson? Okay, let's see if they have questions because now we're getting into that shift and that change. So what I'm asking you is, how did you know? You say you felt that. What were they doing or saying to make you feel like you belong with them?
Just obviously the invitations to the spring games, things of that nature. But just checking on me, literally every day in and day out. When I told them, look, I'm going to U of H, So this is pretty much over. The recruiting for me is
Yeah.
over. I'm going to U of H. And they kept checking on me. You know, how you doing? You know, how's everything going there? Things of that nature. And this was my corner coach. And we just kept in contact, honestly. And that's what showed me that, okay, they obviously want me because there's 1,000 other corners out here, especially in the JUCO level. And y'all can go get any one of them, but y'all continue to keep, you know.
Calling me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's really what I saw out of Texas State.
Okay. And everybody like the same stuff: skill, attention to detail, quickness. They already saw. How many times did they see you were fast? One time.
Yeah.
You had to run fast one time.
Yeah.
You had to put a lot of months in front running fast that one time, right?
Tell me about it.
And then you get to where you want to be. 3 years, 3 schools, 3 coaches, 3 situations.
Yep.
Now you actually dancing with the one that asked you to dance.
Exactly.
How was that?
So
Talk me through your growth and development through your playing.
Yeah, gotcha. So first year, like we said, I got redshirted. I wasn't ready yet, being honest.
Why not?
As far as just being at a D1, it's a different level than JUCO. JUCO to me felt like high school, so I could do high school things as far as eating and those type of habits that I had. When I got to Texas State, it was a little different as far as the training, the conditioning, stuff like that. And I wasn't at the part yet. I was still kind of living in the I'm still the big dog on campus.
That's because you go from I'm all this, all that, all-star games, people like me, I'm getting recruited, play a little JUCO, expected, preseason this, preseason that. Oh, you don't like me, I'm out of here. But physically, you ain't started developing yet.
Exactly.
And then you're up there with the big boys.
Yeah.
When you say different, because everybody thinks hard work is supposed to be hard and grueling and just bodily taxing. But you said earlier that attention to detail. What was the difference at that level versus coming out of high school headed towards that level?
So in high school, if you're good, you're good, and you're gonna take it. Like it's just gonna come very easy to you. You're not going to have to learn too many, different fundamentals as far as what divider rules are, stuff like that. Just real detail oriented things. Watching film and just stuff like that. You don't do that. I didn't do it in JUCO. I didn't do it in high school, and it worked out for me because I worked.
Going by your experience.
Yeah, I worked hard. I worked hard, and it paid off. So I didn't really have to do all the watching the film and doing all that type of stuff in, like I said, high school and JUCO. So coming into a D1, where my name still rang bells. They knew me. All the guys there knew me, and they knew what I could do. And I was still riding that high, I think, and didn't really understand. Okay,
you brought your high school accolades into your college situation.
Exactly.
Okay.
Brought that into the college, and like I said, got there and just learned that the process is different. You got to watch film. You got to understand your opponent.
So when you're watching film, you're not just watching for your 30-second play highlight. Like you're not.
Here
we go right here. This is what I've been talking about.
Yeah.
You're actually going, all right, what does this cat got? What is this cat doing? And that's after you watch film on what the plays actually are. See, these kids have it better than you guys had it, and you guys had it great, where you can actually watch, develop, see the play, see it out, do what it does, and then you get a chance to study your opponent. Okay? So in that, what weren't you ready for? The speed, the understanding, what was it?
I think just the understanding of the game. That was really it. Just the understanding of the game, and I'm not gonna say it was just too much faster because it really wasn't. No, I'll say it was fast, but it was only fast because I wasn't prepared.
That's what I mean. Things were happening fast. You could run fast,
exactly,
but things were happening faster than you could register those things.
Exactly.
When did it change for you? It changed for me the middle of my sophomore year, and I started understanding where everybody fit. My junior year in college. So it took me a while just to understand the game. When did it start changing for you?
My coach was on me. I'm not gonna lie. He made me feel like crap, but it was in a coaching type manner, unlike the first guy. You know what I mean? So he was on me, and it made me feel like crap. So I think that spring going into my first real year. So what, my redshirt sophomore year is when things kind of start flipping, and I'm like, okay, I'm starting to understand this. I'm starting to get it.
We are here with Greg Peace Jr. just talking about his experience and that change from the speed of the game mentally to him being able to slow the game down. When did you start picking up a lot of time? Because I know you played third downs early on.
Yeah.
I know because I watched it and I was like, I ain't concerned about this. I'm concerned about that guard getting out there, and I'm concerned about that downhill back. But Peace can run both sides of the field.
Yeah.
Then I saw your neck got all big, and I stopped being concerned at all. So when did it physically? I know you started changing towards the middle of your sophomore year, which I attribute to you redshirt. So I guess what I'm asking, when did you feel that change in the game slow down? Part one, part two. How much of it had to do with your redshirt season?
Yeah. So I think the game started slowing down the middle of my junior season, last little bit of my sophomore. But for the most part, me understanding, I know exactly what I'm doing. They feel like high school again, my middle of my junior season.
Really?
Yeah.
What was it?
Just understanding and being around my coach and being around the actual system. It's like I said, like you said, this is my third school.
Right.
I had to learn two other systems before this. So actually having that system down and having it down packed, understanding my coaches, understanding what they wanted from me, just all of that, and then me maturing, obviously, I'm 21 at that time. I'm starting to really understand everything.
Yeah,
So,
and you start to understand everything as a package deal. School,
Exactly.
and then school to practice, and
Yeah.
then the requirements, and then coming out of that. So now we're getting into your playing years where Peace is really starting to become Greg Peace, the one where I can see games, because in y'all day and age, you can watch everybody play anywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm watching you, and I'm like, yeah, he getting down. Oh, now he knocking people out all the way clear out of bounds. I know you was riding that high. Let's take it to when they told you had to stop.
yeah. So in the midst of all this, I had 4 concussions in 2 years. In 2 years.
What happened?
2 of them happened in spring ball. Yeah, 2 of them happened in spring ball, my redshirt sophomore year, and then the last 2 happened in spring ball going to my last year, my last playing year.
Gotcha.
And the last one was a pretty big one because I was literally out, man, for.
What do you remember happening?
One of my running back came flared out, like an out route. He ended up catching the ball, and I don't know, I hit him awkwardly, I guess. He didn't get the first down. It was fourth. Just let everybody know that though. He didn't get the first.
Hey, we bought one on the way.
Yeah, he didn't get the
Good
first.
job done, Pete.
Yeah. But I hit him real awkwardly. And I was just on the ground, and the next thing I know, I woke up and I was in the training room. Yeah.
Wow. How was the season going before that?
It was going great. Like I said, I was playing, I was getting acclimated. The next year was my year to look like I was going to be the starter. And it was going pretty good.
So, you wake up, got your loved ones talking to you.
Yeah.
You got time, so take your time. What's the doctor tell you?
He didn't recommend that I keep playing. So this is your 4th concussion in 2 years. We can't tell you not to. Because I think you get 5, and then NCAA can tell you, no, you can't play. But this is my 4th one. I had to sit out literally for 2.5 to 3 months.
I knew when you first got him, because I know I didn't know the severity, so I was like, oh, he'll be out for about a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then back in the mix.
Yeah. So my last one, like I said, was out for about 2.5 months to 3 months. It got to the point where it was so bad where I couldn't sleep. Yeah, I couldn't sleep, and I was pretty much doing all my classwork at home because my teachers was just like, we don't want you to aggravate it anymore. Like I said, I was getting a lot of headaches. It's just a really bad time. And still me though, I'm thinking, this whole time, Like we'll get over it. Obviously, you know what I mean. They just trying to be extra careful. Everybody's being too serious. But I'm going back because every 3 weeks, I believe I had to go back and do the actual little test, and I kept failing them. And I'm like, it's probably because I didn't sleep enough.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I'm thinking like, you know, this is me. I'm like, come on, G, stop tripping. That's how I'm talking to myself, and they're like, you're really not passing these tests. And that kind of woke me up. I'm like, okay, like the third one that I didn't pass, I'm like, okay, okay, some obviously not right. And then, like I said, I was talking to my mom, talking to my fiance.
What'd your mama say? Now I know me shit.
Yeah.
So let's not act. Don't give me the. Well, she just told me. Nah. What'd your mama say? She started with baby.
Yeah. She wasn't going for it.
Exactly.
She wasn't going for it. She was like, I don't want to go to a game and see you not walk off the field.
What did that mean to you? Because that's not real. But it's coming from the mom.
Yeah. And I just really had to step back and really understand the severity of that. Like, you come into a game, everybody's excited, and then some very fast can happen, and I don't walk out that field again. And that really woke me up. Like, okay, we really got to think this out.
So, and I know you're talking to Drew. Did you ask her anything? And now she's sitting right there. Cause I'm gonna turn to her for confirmation. Did she just tell you how she felt?
She told me how she felt. She was very supportive.
Did you fight against it?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. But like I said, she was very supportive of the situation. She's been there since high school, since middle school, and she saw the whole process. Yeah, so she knew how hard I was working and where I was going with it. And so I think more or less she didn't want to tell me not to stop. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, without saying it, she told me you kind of.
Who initiated the conversation? Did you initiate the conversation, Drew, or did he initiate? Did he say, "What do you think about this?" Or did you say, "Let me talk to you about this"?
I think I initiated the conversation.
I figured that she initiated because people care about you, bro.
Yeah.
So you make the decision. Talk us through that. Now you are going into the better part of your career. You're getting ready to. You're running fast. You're about to be a starter. You're at a D1 school. They are just now making TV because you guys, when your sophomore year is when they start putting you guys regularly on the ESPN. Yeah. So that's how I got a chance to watch some of them that I didn't go to. But you guys, I think you might have been working towards a contract. I don't know, but we kept seeing you week after week, after week, and then you were going into your senior year.
Yeah.
It was going to be the baby.
Yeah. Going into my senior year, just had a real conversation with my coach.
How much school did you have left?
I was almost done with school.
So now I'm asking that because I want to see where it factored in your decision.
Yeah, I was almost done with school. This is I believe was my last semester at school when I made this decision.
So you had one semester of school, but you had 1 year of eligibility.
I had another year of eligibility.
So you talked to your coach.
Talked to my coach. He was on the fence too. I mean, he was just like, Greg, we obviously love you, but we want you to live life too. You know what I mean? As far as after football, he said this is your fourth one, and we're not gonna tell you no because we want you here. You know what I mean? But you gotta do what's best for you and your family.
That's so fair.
Yeah. And
did they try to talk you into, or were they neutral? And
they were real neutral.
That is like the best statement a player can ever make for a coach. Like, yeah, we want you, but I ain't gonna talk you into nothing that can benefit me short term and me have to regret it long term.
Yeah, and like I said, they were real neutral, and it was really up to me. It wasn't
That's heavy. Yeah.
So at 21, I was sitting in my restroom and just thinking about all the pros and cons of continuing or leaving it. And to me, the cons outweighed the pros in this situation as far as continuing. Obviously, I I worked really hard to get where I was. For it to just end like that, you know what I mean? But I understood that that wasn't my whole life. I had my whole life ahead of me, and just had to make a grown-up decision. I think that's when everything just snapped, and it was like, okay, this part of your life is over, but you have a lot of life to live, and we're not gonna allow football to, you know, kind of mess up that.
So it was just time to get out of that vehicle.
Yeah.
It was time to get out of the football vehicle.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
But that's the one you've been knowing, yo. How long
Solid
you been playing football?
So I was 4 years old.
4 years old.
Yeah.
So your entire life, somebody made you get out the car.
Yeah.
What happened?
So from there, like I said, I mean, I made that decision. I not only had, I mean, at that point, I think I had like a month and a half, 2 months left in school.
Yeah, I feel like you got 6 weeks of school.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done with school. Graduated with a 3.3 GPA, so I was on top of school. And you know, by the grace of God, everything worked out. I feel like how it was supposed to, because it was just like that situation happened. I only had six weeks left of school or whatever, and I was graduating. I was done. So I mean, I completed what I needed to complete at the end.
They would have to pay for your graduate degree.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, I completed what I came there for. And
that's what I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
What did you go to school for? You go to school to play football? You go to school to try to go to the NFL, or you went to school to graduate?
I went to school to try to go to the NFL. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
In you know, the intertwine of that, you know, I've always been okay at school. So I mean, I'm not just going, you know,
NFL or bust.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I was always going, you know, try to plan for a plan B.
Yeah.
And have a plan C if the plan B don't work.
Yeah. That's so crazy because, like, of course, my goal was to go to the NFL. Like, no question. From the moment I walked on the yard. But I wanted to like, the ultimate goal was graduating for me. Like, that was, and when I graduated, it still didn't take the pain away from not playing until I grew up or grew out of that. So when did you grow out of that?
I think I honestly think, and me and my fiance were just talking about it, I think it just happened.
Really?
Yeah, it really did. It just started happening. And I think it was just because, you know, I finally found who I am after football. I think that was the biggest deal. Because I never knew. I never had to know. You know what I mean?
You never had to know who you were under the helmet.
Exactly.
And most of the time, people told you who you were.
Yeah.
And you believed what you was told, and you got good at that. Then you had to take the helmet off.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me, bro. Like, the moment I took the helmet off and I couldn't put the baseball hat on, I put the jersey on, it was just me.
Yeah.
And what I was known for, I didn't do. And now, I'm not a part of anything. You know, you learned that a little earlier in maturity. So how did it affect that transition from, because we're all gonna hang the cleats up.
Definitely.
It's only a matter of time, but life don't stop until life stops.
At all.
So right now, you have a career outside of football. When did you start appreciating it? Not being excited about it and like, but appreciating the fact that I don't have to do this in order to be good at my life.
I appreciated that as soon as I got my first job offer.
Really?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Because like I said, I didn't know who I was after football. And we were always taught, you know, football was our way out. Football is the way, is the only way you can get, you know, to
that
live
kind of paper.
to get to living how you want to live and drive what you want to drive and, you know, all those type of things. So when I got my first job offer, that's when I was like, okay, you know, let's do this.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Here with Greg Peace talking about this journey. Now I'm excited because he let that football vehicle pay for your school. You know, what we lose.
Keep going.
Pay for your school. It you had better have rocking with you the entire time. You had a chance to live through and go through things other people wouldn't even be able to do. Where has football taken you across, like in the States? Like, where have you been at? football took you? Like, cause I've been to Hawaii. Football took me to Hawaii.
Yeah.
You know, what kind of places have you been that you wouldn't have gone to without football? Took me to South Dakota too. I ain't no going back, but
Wyoming,
Yeah.
like
You see what I'm
yeah, I
saying?
went to Wyoming. Like what? It was weird, but I mean, I've been around the country for football, man. Like I didn't play, you know, with Team USA. I played Canada. You know, I didn't play the Canadians, things of that nature. Yeah, even got to play in like you know Cowboy Stadium and just big stadiums like that. Like football has been very very good to me.
Absolutely. And then it gave you a chance to learn things at school that you may not have learned in class. What kind of lessons would you give to these youngsters about things they'll learn in school that they may not learn in class?
Yeah, I think the biggest one would be that you know no matter how hard you prepare for something, that doesn't mean that you know it's foolproof and that it's always going to work out in your favor.
And when it doesn't, what?
You got to keep trucking on.
Okay. So what are you doing now?
Yeah, so I'm actually a senior account manager now, and
So you're a senior account manager and you 20-something years old.
23.
You a baby, a senior. So you telling grown men what to do.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, keep going.
But yeah, so I actually have 4 or 5 recruiters that work under me, and we do all the engineering aspects of Amazon fulfillment centers, and that's nationwide. And so we're putting, you know, engineers in these fulfillment centers for Amazon.
So you're looking for engineers right now for the fulfillment centers, and you're paying them a nice piece of change to go get a job done.
Exactly.
And then so you supervise men and you place and facilitate these situations.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What did your degree do to help you with that? And what could these youngsters do in school? Because you said part of their job is a trade. They don't even have to spend a lot of time trying to cop a degree. They can maneuver themselves in a position to master a trade and make a good amount of money.
Yeah, and the good thing about Amazon now is, you know, if you don't have that degree, because, you know, the biggest job in Amazon for, you know, the engineer aspect of it is a maintenance manager, and those are the 6-figure guys. Those are the guys that are making, you know, the 130s and 135, you know, a year. And with Amazon, you know, you can come in at the ground floor and work your way up, you know, within, you know, 2 or 3 years of being there.
Now, when you say work your way up, all of our players think they got to start in the basement, throw boxes on the truck for 400 years.
Yeah.
That's not work your way up.
Yeah.
Explain work your way up.
So come in as an entry level, you know, maintenance technician, and you know, learn the PLC programs and learn, you know,
Keep going.
yeah, learn your PLC programs and you know, learn the actual, you know, facility itself and the machines and the conveyor systems and things of that nature. And, you know, just continue to build yourself and you will get to where you want to be.
So you don't have to be out there and be forceful and aggressive. You need to go learn.
Go learn.
Go learn. Go learn before you can practice.
Exactly.
Go learn before you can practice. Go learn before you can practice.
Yeah.
So when you talk about detail, the things you learned on the football field brought you a senior management position as a 23-year-old.
Yeah.
What things do you take from the field that you take into your job?
I take everything I learned from the field.
Really?
The biggest thing, the craziest thing that blows my mind about the whole situation is when I went in for my first job interview. This is not this position, but even in this position, when I went into that interview, I told them I was a student athlete. I told them that I understand what you put in is what you're going to get out, and I'm going to use that same, you know, that same analogy onto this position. Everybody I went to interview with loves student athletes because they know that we go through the grind. We have to endure, you know, certain things that regular students just don't endure. You know what I mean? And we have to still juggle, you know, going to play in Colorado and coming back and you still got a test on you know, Saturday if it's Thursday. I mean on Friday if it's a Thursday night game. You know, so they understand that, and they understand that we're okay with if I come into the office at 7 a.m. I'll still be there at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
If things aren't done, like
gotta get it done.
Yeah. When other guys are, you know, maybe man I'm tired or I got to go home to the family. It's a lot of different other things, but we're okay with doing that. And there's been numerous of times where, you know, we're all working from home right now, and it's been numerous of times where, you know, Drew will be asleep and she'll come out. It's 1 p.m. and I'm still on my laptop working.
Yeah.
And my boss is calling me because they're in the UK.
That's right. You get them goes on.
And so it's different. So they're up when I'm supposed to be asleep.
Yeah.
So they're seeing me on there.
So it's 1 a.m. with you, and then it's flipped on their side.
Yeah, it's like 7 or 8 a.m. there, and they're
Gotcha.
calling me like, Greg, why are you still on? Like, go to sleep. Like,
Yeah.
they're worried about me, and I'm like, this is just really what I've been doing my whole life.
This is what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you take those lessons and you implement those lessons, but you didn't put all of your emotional bag on the football field.
Yeah, you can't do that.
But we all do that. How do you keep from doing it? What did you do? It's flipped. I did it, and I had to go through a period of feeling lost until I found myself. Because you said you had to find yourself. Well, who is Greg?
Greg is just a hard worker, period. And I think all my trainers, all my coaches can kind of attest to that.
I can attest to that.
I've always been a hard worker. A lot of cards have always been against me.
What do you mean?
As far as, my height being a problem. It's always been something for someone not to give me, what I felt like I deserved. And so I think that's what kind of made me grow up a little earlier and kind of make this transition a little easier or make it look like it just happened a little faster. But leaving South Grand Prairie, going to Bowie, all that time and just everything I had to do, through my high school years matured me.
Really?
I had to. It was a lot of you hear sudden change in football. There's a sudden change. You're on offense, and the ball fumbles or whatever the case may be, and you're on defense.
Yep.
Sudden change.
Sudden change.
You just got the field, but it's a sudden change. And I've been having to deal with sudden change my whole life.
Yeah. So you took that lesson into life.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
Wow, that's fantastic. So we're gonna take a quick break because I want Gracie, while she was over there smiling, I think we can get her to talk loud enough now to tell everybody about this Speed School program. And we are 60% off today. If you just send us a message, we'll shoot you with the link. And all you have to do is take a look, and if it works for you, grab it. If you don't like it, leave a comment to me after you go through the entire program. Grace, tell them about Speed School.
Okay, so Speed School is designed for kids 11 and up, and it's perfect for all these ages because it's laying a foundation down for all of them to have the small details like he was talking about, the things that make understanding how to come out of your brakes or how to accelerate the right way a little bit easier because you don't have to fix as many things. It's designed for multiple sports and easy to understand because there's the videos, the voiceovers, and the explanations as well.
So you can get that right now. If you leave us a comment, I don't care if you leave it in our messaging or you leave it down below, you get 60% off. We'll send you a link and then we'll get your athlete rolling. Greg, you worked with us for a little bit.
Yes, sir.
What kind of things did you learn at Performance Experience that may have been outside of the athletic realm when you were doing the work? I keep breaking the mic.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing I want to say is what I learned from you guys is how to be on time. I'm gonna tell you that I got a lot of text messages and a lot of meme mugs from this man over here about me being on time. But as far as skill set and things of that nature that I learned from you guys, and with speed and things of that nature, I learned a lot. I learned your first 10 yards is a lot.
It's a monster.
And you got to learn how to actually dig and do what you need to do to get that 40 time that you want.
Yeah.
Different twitch muscles and different exercises that we had to do, just to get us where we needed to be and get that time where we needed to be. Like I said, it doesn't happen overnight, and we definitely had to work a lot to get my time down to where it was, to get that offer. So
we put a lot of hours into that, but it was the detail. It wasn't really about how fast you work, because you could run with everybody. It was more about understanding what you had to do.
Yeah, the mechanics.
And that you took into your job. So when you are leading these other men, what kind of things do you come up against that the sport itself helped you with? Because you're a young cat.
Yeah.
Tell grown-ups what to do.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for me is just being a leader by action, not words, because I am a young guy. So I don't know how I would feel if a young guy was telling me what to do.
Right on. That's
so
what
I'm one of the guys that I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
And show you that it works.
Right.
And then you guys are fall in place.
Yeah.
And it'll be you guys asking me. It's not me telling you.
Yeah.
So I think
Let's
that's
talk about graduation, man.
Mhm.
You know I wouldn't get out of here without talking about graduation.
Yeah.
Because that's the biggest, that's everything to me, brother, is graduation. There you go.
Sorry.
Yeah, we good, we good. Because I want, yeah, oh yeah, because I want people to hear.
Mhm.
So, it's Saturday,
Mhm.
and you walk across that stage and you get your degree.
Yeah.
So the reason you went to school, you do that.
Mhm.
What does that mean to you? What did that mean to your family? How did that affect your career now? Just that Saturday after all of those years of work, those concussions, those classes, 3 different schools, you had to get off of that train that you had been riding since you were 4 years old.
Mhm.
When you walk across that stage. Talk about what it meant to you, and I'll tell you what it meant to me.
It was very bittersweet.
Mhm.
Just because, like I said, I wasn't supposed to be done yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's very bittersweet, and it really didn't even hit me until a couple of days after.
Mm-hmm.
It was me just kind of, once again, sudden change. So I'm just kind of going through the motions. I know my parents are, extremely happy for me. I know my fiance was, and that was around the same time that I decided to propose to her.
Mhm.
So it was a lot of other things kind of going on in my head at that particular moment. But as I kind of reflect now, I'm glad I stayed on track, because at the end of the day, once football ended, a lot of guys, decide to, just kind of jump off that bandwagon and kind of go crazy, because they don't know themselves. And I'm just blessed, and I thank God that I wasn't one of those guys. I stayed on course. I stuck to the script, and God willing, we're here now.
Man, I think that's fantastic, because for me, it meant the world to me. You're the first PE, as far as PE goes, PE athlete to walk across the stage in college. So I always told you, remember I told you as a junior, I said, man, I don't want 2 things from you.
Yeah.
All I want is to take you to a game. Graduation day and said what? Say, man, I'm gonna be down there. You better make sure I can get in the mix.
Yeah.
So I'm out there acting like, because I ain't never had no kids, so I guess I just, I'm a proud uncle. But everybody sitting next to me would have thought you was my boy. I mean, it was ridiculous. But it was the proudest moment in my business ownership career. I mean, it really was to see everything you had, all these moving parts that you went through, and then taking it all in stride, not making excuses as to why. Yes, being upset, being bitter about a few things, but never making excuses, and then to see you complete that journey, that's what it is for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it is always, I know what those school years did, for you. They grew you up, they gave you a different perspective, allowed you to see different things, and turned you into the man you are today. So with that, where do you think this school thing can take you beyond football? So if we're talking to young athletes, the school, the vehicle, doesn't really matter. Where do you think this thing has headed you? And is it something different if you would not have gone to school, or if you just would have been a millionaire computer geek?
So I know for a fact that I wouldn't have got either one of the jobs that I've had without a degree.
Really?
Period.
Okay.
So that says a lot, because at the end of the day, I have not a big family, but I do have another person in my life that needs me.
Right.
And if I didn't have this degree, I really don't know where I would be. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Wow, that's big time. Well, I tell you what, man, the whole purpose of why I do what I do is you, like, to see that. Because I realized the moment I couldn't play that it's gonna end, no matter how life ain't gonna end, jobs don't end until you retire, but this athletic situation is going to come to a slow stop or a screeching halt. Don't even matter the sport. But we try to make sure our athletes understand that use that thing that you got, that thing you've been gifted with, that thing you really love, to carry you into the next thing you really love. Okay, so with that being said, Grace, so what you got for us?
What's the next thing? I know that all the magic behind all the social media, you guys know that I'm a part of. And I saw you guys put together some clothes.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it started with Drew. She has her own brand, Designed by Peace. She's been making a lot of sportwear or fitness wear for women, and that's been a big priority for her. But she also does, regular shirts and jumpsuits and just apparel for women. And then we decided to flip it and bring, the men's side of it, which is what I'm wearing now. And so yeah.
Put your shirt up so everybody can see it.
Got you.
Where can we find it?
Oh, we can find it on Instagram.
Okay.
Designed by Peace.
So Designed by Peace, we can find it on Instagram, Designed by Peace. How do we order it?
DM her. DM the Instagram.
And okay, so we're gonna DM Drew, Designed by Peace, and she has male and female sportwear. Okay, so we definitely want to do that. What else you got going on?
Just working, man. We do have our wedding in November.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we don't know how many people can be there yet.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. it may be changing right now, but as of right now, it's still going
Fantastic.
on. So
Fantastic.
yeah, we have the wedding coming up, and then obviously the honeymoon and things like that. So just
you got the hardworking student athlete, now supervisor. You got the entrepreneur. So y'all trying to be a power couple.
Definitely.
She just hold all the power. You the second part of the couple. Don't even worry about it. So I want to end with this. It's one of those things I think all athletes need to hear, that it's not a sad story, it's not a bad story, it's not up and down. This is life. And in life, one thing that I've noticed is that I've never seen a person play football from beginning to the end of their life unless it ended tragically.
Exactly.
There is a stopping point to a lot of things that we do, but you don't have to stop. This young man used this school thing, use that football vehicle, okay, to go through that school journey to get to where he is today. Are you happy today?
Very happy.
Really happy today?
Yes, sir.
Leave the kids with something before we get out of here. What would you tell that 14-year-old who wants to play in the NFL, or that 17-year-old who doesn't understand why he's not getting recruited by Alabama, or that kid that works hard and he's a grunt in the weight room, he just runs that 4.7? What would you tell those kids, bro?
It's kind of like I said earlier. You can work as hard as you possibly can, and the real reality is it still may not happen for you. I had to learn it, had to go through a lot of trials and tribulations, but if you stick to your script and stick to, working hard and doing what you need to do, God has a way of showing you, different ways and different avenues to get essentially what you want. Because essentially what I wanted was, to drive something nice and live somewhere nice and be able to, provide a good life for my fiance and things of that nature. And
that was the root of what you wanted.
Yeah. And the thing, and kind of going into that, I mean, it still kind of came around full circle, even though it didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen. And it's still, I'm still working hard, and I'm still, I still have a long ways to go. I'm only 23, but it's working. And as long as you keep working hard, what you want as far as the end result will come.
So what you want as far as the end result will come. That is fantastic. And that is gonna do it for us this evening, man. I'm super happy for you, bro. Like, I'm really excited, I'm really ecstatic. I need all you young cats to know that, eventually you're gonna have to get out of that vehicle. And when you do, where you headed after that? We will see you guys next Monday with another episode of Beyond the Noise.
Clear. That was good. That was real good. Dude, sorry about the technical stuff, man. It started happening the last couple of minutes. I'm like, what is going on?
That was exactly what I needed them to hear. I mean, that is right. Because a lot of people think, do you want to bust? Football's going to end, sports going to end, it's going to all die. And then you got to keep on sprinting.
And what you gonna do afterwards?
So,